Ohayo!
Ohayo!
Welcome to So Japanese Podcast that we talk all things about Japan from a Japanese
and a foreigner perspective.
We are your hosts. My name is Ryusuke.
And I'm Matt. Thank you for joining us today.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
何を喋ろう今日は。What's today's topic?
はい。今日は
はい。
sakura, well, hanami top is what we're talking about today.
Hanami, sakura. Well, it's a sakura season.
Both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So as I'm sure many of you know, like the sakura or cherry blossoms are like what Japan's probably one of Japan's things that they're most famous, like it's most famous for, and kind of iconic symbol of Japan, Japanese culture. So we're just kind of talking about that today for another Nanashi episode.
Hi. Sounds
so
good.
I won't be doing full intro about Hanami, but we'll be talking about a bit and then some
and
different stories around that.
And also for the listener, if you haven't listened our another Hanabi episode, we actually covered with me and John covered I think last time like around this season, so you can always go back to that episode. For that episode we actually talk about like Hanami, story of Hanami, and then a little bit of history of Hanami. So yeah. And the episode about Sakura, the last year we put last year March 23, so you can check it out that too. All right, that's from me.
And so, why is Sakura popular in Japan?
Why? なんでかな?
I mean, I guess talk about it a little bit in the history, but it's kind of like the unofficial national flower at this point. Or like it's just a symbol you see everywhere. But I don't think it's been officially made like on a national level in any way.
No.
So what's the Yoshino?
Somei Yoshino.
Somei Yoshino variety is kind of like the iconic
Sakura
one. The classic one you see.
It's so cute. Like it's slightly pink. It's almost white flower, only blossoming like a week, but when they blossom it's insanely beautiful. But I think most of the Japanese people who grow up in Japan, we had an experience that every season, like spring, around like the end of the March, which is right now, through early April. It's obviously depends on the season, depends on the weather, but when we hit that week, and then because when I was growing up in my neighbor at my elementary school, there's like, I would say maybe 50 or a little bit more cherry blossoms. And then on the street before we enter the school, there was a cherry blossom arch. So like
naturally from the branches or like made?
Naturally from the branches. So like we have the sidewalk, and then both sides has cherry blossoms through the school gate. So every year around this time, everybody sees, and it's beautiful.
I guess it's important to note, right? Because this is the beginning of school year for Japanese.
Exactly. Yep.
So I guess I would imagine it has a very specific nostalgia for you. Like, does it have like that? Oh,
I think
it's like school year. School starts
like
Sakura.
Fresh for the school, and for some people, fresh for work too. But at least the cold weather is over. You see the beautiful flower, and then you get the energy to start doing your new stuff.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's funny because here it's like you have the entire 2 months of summer, and then it's like you completely reset. But Japan is just like what, 2 weeks from graduation to starting again.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, like so quick. Everything starts so quick. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's sakura is very important for Japanese people just because there's so many sakuras everywhere, and then that's the symbol for like new year, new life, and also beginning of the spring. That it's such a nice feeling that you have, like, okay, it's getting warm, now I can do more stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, I experienced sakura or hanami a little bit in Japan, but I would love that personally, like to have that every year. It's not quite the same. I mean, here in Ottawa we have crabapple trees that bloom like mid-May, and that's like the closest, I guess, to get to that kind of feeling. But yeah.
So yeah, and there was actually the main 3 cherry blossom exist in Japan. It's called Nihon Sandai Zakura.
So like the Japan's 3 great sakura trees.
And yeah, you wanna go through how old are they?
Yeah, so well, maybe I'll go from youngest to oldest.
Sure, yes.
But the reported youngest one starts at 1,000 years. So this tree has been around for like an entire millennium.
Yeah.
It's Miharu Takizakura.
Miharu Takizakura.
Yeah, and it's found in Fukushima Prefecture.
Yep.
Do you know what town? I don't know
which
the specific
town.
Location.
Yeah,
but you can look these up and you'll find.
You can always
just
Google
look up
it. Just Miharu Takizakura, and then for sure they're gonna boom.
Yeah, and and then the next one is Neodani light blue cherry blossom. Wait,
that's not Neodani.
What's that in Japanese?
Neodani Shikokuzakura.
Shikokuzakura.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard that. I feel like I've heard of this one. I don't know if I heard this. I know the other two for sure. And that one's reportedly 1,500 years old, right?
Yes.
That's crazy. And that's in Gifu Prefecture.
Yeah.
And then I guess the oldest one's insane. So this is okay, hold on. Yamataka Jindai Zakura.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yamataka Jindai Zakura.
Jindai Zakura, yes. And that's in Yamanashi Prefecture. And that one's about, it's estimated, I guess, between 1,800 to 2,000 years. That's like all of Japanese history.
Yeah, yes. Crazy.
That's why the main bulk of Japanese history is like this trees.
Yeah, and that's why this sakura actually has kami, the god Chinese character. Kami kanji. So that means you know, a lot of Japanese culture, if they see like very old, like, how to say, like nature object, like trees, or maybe like I would say like a pond or something,
like a big stone that's
big
really
stone
stands out in some way. Yeah,
and they believe that there's a god on it or in it, or itself. It's the god.
Yeah, like I think all these trees have shimenawa.
Yeah,
with the I don't remember what they're called, the streamer things.
Yes,
that mark it as a Shinto like sacred site, essentially. And you're not allowed to like touch that tree. And there's so many trees like that in Japan, but these ones are pretty amazing. Like this is how revered sakura are, and trees are in Japan. I guess that these ancient trees are kind of like preserved, you
Yeah.
know, in
Yeah.
a way. And I feel like I forget which one. I think it might be the Yamataka
Yamataka Jindai
Jindai
Sakura.
Sakura. That's like it almost looks like it's like falling apart. There's a few other old trees too, but these are like the three great ones.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
one that I'm like, it looks like it's barely alive, but somehow it's
Mhm.
still producing
Mhm.
like
And
flowers every year.
because I remember like one of our sakura close to my house was also old one. It's a like,
Oh.
it's not like a Somei Yoshino. They were like they call
Oh.
Yamazakura, so it's like close to
Yeah.
this guy,
Oh yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like thicker, like bigger. The tree itself is like one tree, but it's huge.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And I remember when I
Oh.
was kid, there's a news came to like report like this is the oldest sakura we have in this neighbor, blah blah blah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So actually, fun fact.
Mm,
In Ottawa,
mm,
we can't. There are few sakura trees
mm,
in Ottawa. There's
mm,
some in That's where I am. For listeners who don't know,
mm.
um, there's a few in the Arboretum, and there's a bunch at the Japanese ambassador's residence. But they
Mhm.
are all Yamazakura
Okay, so it's
because
no Somei Yoshino.
Yoshino,
Mm.
Somei Yoshino can't grow in Ottawa. We're too cold here.
Oh, I see.
But Yamazakura are
They're stronger.
can survive a bit colder because I guess they're mountain. Like
yes.
the name implies, it's like a
Mhm.
mountain variety, so it's
Mhm.
like used to a slightly colder climate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only one you'll find, which they look a little bit different. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's
the petal. I feel like it's longer. Like the petals
Mhm.
are a little longer. Like
Mhm.
Soma Yoshino is very like kawaii, like
Yeah.
like a chubby
Yeah.
flower, but
Yeah.
the Yamazakura tend to
Sakura
have like a
has-
little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
petals, I think. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a random fact I wanted to share.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
like you guys, I mean like, I know we have like so many listeners from like everywhere and every
Mhm.
continent. So like for sure there's a Japanese people here or like someone who lives in Japan. Like you should definitely check like what you have close to your house because you can see that it's the season. And then also even like outside of Japan, like I know some of the country they actually have the sakura. So you should go check them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then what we're gonna talk now is like what's hanami, and if you
Yes.
see the sakura, and then you should also enjoy the hanami, which is
Yeah.
what is hanami? Matsu?
So Hanami
Mm.
literally translates to like flower looking,
Yep.
but it means like to observe or view flowers, but
Mhm.
it's pretty much directly and only associated with the season of sakura.
Mhm.
So when the sakura are blooming,
Mm.
and hanami can, I guess, technically range because Japan's so south to north. Like,
Yep.
it will start, maybe in earlier, like mid to late March in Fukuoka or something. But
Okinawa
then,
start.
yeah,
From
Okinawa
Okinawa,
technically
yes.
is like February.
Yeah.
I think, but and they have actually Okinawa has its own variety of
Mhm.
sakura, which is
Mhm.
totally different from the other ones. And it's like
Mhm.
dark pink.
Mhm.
And then you go all the way up to Hokkaido, which I find you can actually see, I think, sakura blooming in Hokkaido in like May sometimes, like
Yes.
early
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because like Matt said, and then I think we also mentioned the other episode of Sakura, but there's a call Sakura Zensen. So like we get the forecast about when
sorry, yeah.
Sakura will blossom in Okinawa, and then obviously through all the way like west nose, and then
Yeah.
like you can like around this season on the TV they say like, okay, this is the time you guys need to check where you live. Sakuras will be blossom like around April here, maybe like end of April here, and then early
Yeah.
March here. So yeah, it's yes.
Yeah, you can find maps on it all online,
Exactly.
and it'll
Yeah.
be like stages too. It'll be like the blossoms are now here in like Shikoku or something,
Yeah.
and then it'll be like predicted peak blooms will be, 5 days from now.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so serious. Like, it's so, like, detailed. And
Yeah,
so
it's so detailed.
You can pick exactly when you want to try and hit the best time to, like, view the cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
Like, it's serious business.
Yeah, no, it's serious. Because Hanami is serious for Japanese people. My experience in Japan, of course, when I was a kid, we go Hanami with my friend or my families. And what we do at Hanami is basically we do picnic under tree, under cherry blossom tree. And then I don't know right now, but around that time when I was a kid, I mean, Japanese people still do picnic, but not as much as here. Like here, for example, in Canada, summertime, you see everybody outside, like at the park and then picnic Saturday, Sunday, or like whenever they have days off, right? But
yeah, like Trinity Bellwoods is like full of people.
Exactly. But in Japan, that's not really happened somehow. No adult people is picnicking at the park. Maybe they seem weird if you do. I don't know now though, because I don't live in Japan now. But when I was living in Japan, if I see someone just picnicking in park, I mean, some park I understand, but like not like just a park on the street, but like here in Canada, everybody does, right? Anyway, so
yeah, that's true.
So the sakura season is the chance for Japanese people that enjoy actual picnic, but also there's hanami for private, but a lot of companies, they would love to do hanami with all the employees. So what happened during the season with the popular park, there's always one or two people bringing the blue sheet to
have some comments about that later.
to get a spot, and they just wait until everybody finish work and come to hanami, because of course they're not gonna say like, okay, let's do hanami, we don't work today. No. Japanese people, let's do hanami today, so let's work hard and maybe we do overtime 2 hours today instead of 4 hours, and then go to park and then drunk as fuck until you passed out. That's the regular hanami season for Japan.
Pass out under the sakura? I don't mind that.
It's warm already and it's cute, you know. You get the
cute,
when you woke up, you got puddle in your mouth and you know all your face. Aren't you happy with that?
Was that you every hanami?
Yes and no. But yeah, again, like hanami is really, really big in Japan, and then like we really enjoy that time because again, we don't really do outside drinking so much compared to like North America, even Europe. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's really big.
So this season is for Japanese people. It's really like they need it.
It's true. It's kind of like you don't see that kind of, and you don't see like patios and stuff in Japan.
See,
like it's just
that's why
it's kind of funny actually.
Yeah.
Like not like here anyway, but
no.
I think it's just.
I think
I don't
it's
know
just
why, but
Japanese people don't like people are just watching or like, because if you're drinking outside and everybody's working and then you basically like everybody's they start drinking. Oh shit, it's 12 p.m. noon. But when I go Japan, I always ask like, can I go sit patio and then can I have beer? And then like mostly the servers are like, oh yes. Like they don't used to it, like asking alcohol.
That's really funny.
Yeah, but again, I think it's changes now because I see a lot of YouTube and whatever like people drinking from daytime. So anyway,
interesting.
Yeah, what's your experience about
so
hanami?
here's a hanami from a foreigner's perspective. I know a lot of people who teach English in Japan, and they are kind of trying to give me tips, beforehand, and I kind of ignored all their tips, and I don't expect people to listen to my tips, but as Ryusuke said, like, it's a serious thing. And when we talk about people going out with the blue tarps, it's like in big urban areas, it's insane. Like, so my experience, like, I went to Tokyo and then Kyoto back to back during Hanami. So for like 2 weeks, Hanami period between both cities. And we started in Tokyo and went to, like classic. So some classic places to see the most sakura in Tokyo are like Ueno Park, Yanaka Cemetery, which I highly recommend both. They're beautiful. Yoyogi Park, of course.
Yoyogi Park.
I went to Roppongi, and I think like along the Sumida River.
Sumidagawa. Yes.
Sumidagawa. Lots of like, and there's other like canals. There's all these like beautiful canals through Tokyo that you can see. All these sakura hanging over, really beautiful. But it's not just like, so tourists go to Japan during this time to see the sakura, but so does every single Japanese person. So it's like, it's just unbelievably packed. Like you can't walk through any of these areas without just like bumping into people. It's just everyone, absolutely everyone. So it's like millions of tourists, and then like the entire Japanese population are all out at the same time. So it's like a thing that I really want to like drive into listeners is like, think about what makes you comfortable when you're doing this, because you might not enjoy your Hanami experience if you're like overwhelmed by the amount of people. And I can say it's quite annoying to swim through selfie sticks of people trying to take selfies in front of like some temple, and like I'm not even joking. It's like it looks like an army with like swords and shit, because it's just like there's so many selfie sticks. But it's and everybody's trying to get that best photo. Everybody's trying to get that spot in the sunlight with the sakura, and and like, sometimes you have to wait in a line almost to just get like, there's this place in Ueno Park that has like a round tree or something, and like everybody wants to get like this one like shot, and there's like the sakura everywhere. But I just remember walking through Yoyogi, and in Yoyogi, it's almost like you have to keep looking up at a 45-degree angle, because if you look like straight ahead, all you see is just like blue tarp. The ground is just blue because of all the tarps, and then literally like 1,000 people, and then you have to just kind of like angle up so you can just enjoy the sakura and not like just not look at the crowd and tons of people drinking. But it's also like a good atmosphere. It's like it's like bustling. Everybody's appreciating the same. Like, this is the good side of it, even though it's chaotic. It's like everybody's just enjoying themselves. Everybody's appreciating this beautiful natural phenomenon, and drinking and eating snacks and talking, and it's like this kind of just like chill, almost like matsuri,
it is matsuri, because
it is matsuri,
like again, like spring
there's
season
yatai
right now, exactly. We say sakura matsuri, so like everywhere this season, like I just got a notification from my like my old school friends, because like they gather now, and then like now they kind of helping like a local people for like bringing like matsuri and stuff, and now they do a sakura matsuri my area.
Oh, cute. Cute.
So
and
like,
so they just have like
yatai, everything, street food. They call the vendors and then do it. But like what Matt said, when you go Japan, you always check like most famous area, right? Like sakura area. But you know what? There's sakura everywhere. So if you really want to enjoy without those like crowdiness, like craziness, maybe you should check your area that you stay then if you can, just go check like little bit of local like matsuri, because it will be way less people, but it's basically sakura. It's still sakura. You still enjoying them.
Yeah, and it's good to find those smaller neighborhoods if you can, if you're in places like Tokyo where it's like so packed. And even just like I think I was in Mitaka for to see the Ghibli Museum, and there's this beautiful park right before the Ghibli Museum. There's like a little shrine or temple in it, and it's like sakura, and it's still busy, but it's just not like a major spot, you know. It's very much like that neighborhood spot, so you can kind of appreciate it a little more there. Places like that, and they're literally everywhere, so it's like you can kind of find that little spot on the side. It's just the big parks are where everybody's doing the picnic, and all the main tourists go.
And most of the companies, like Japanese companies, when they do hanami, they want to go to the big one, they want to go to the popular one. So imagine that, like maybe like 100 of company decide, okay, let's do hanami today. Normally that means everybody does same day, because they all check the sakura forecast, so they know which weekend is the best. So and of course foreigner as well, but again, you guys are way small groups. That means you don't need to go the big one. You can still go the smaller one, and then you actually more space, and you still enjoy under the sakura tree, and then you can get your own top, get onigiri. You can get everything, all the food from konbini, get all the fried chicken and onigiri and then whatever you like.
I want that now.
I know, and then you also get the beer or like sakura flavored alcohol. There's so many sakura flavored shit. So
you can get all the seasonal stuff. Sakura seasonal flavor stuff.
And you drink, eat, sleep, wake up, and then you keep doing it. That's basically hanami for me.
And honestly, and I did like it. I didn't get to do that though. Like I didn't have like a group to like sit and do the chill with the under the sakura, but it was mostly just like touring around to do it. So I wish I got to do that more actually, but like I went to Kyoto too, and again Kyoto is insane during sakura season.
For sure.
I'd say Tokyo's just busier because it's just Tokyo, and it's like 10 times the population of Kyoto, but Kyoto it's like still popular because the temples, right? Everybody wants to go to every temple, every shrine. And I did that, and I'd say if you really want to like appreciate Kyoto, for example, and just because it's such a beautiful city on its own outside of that season, go on off season, because if you're there, like we were there and we're like, I want to enjoy sakura, but I also want to see the temple, and it was a nightmare because there's just so many people. You can't really like appreciate the temple and stuff. But one tip I would give is that during hanami and during
the Golden Week, what, Obon? Golden Week?
Yeah, Golden Week, but also like during
Obon season, like a summer break,
the fall, maple leaf.
Yes, koyo, the color.
Koyo.
Yes.
During koyo, koyo and hanami are like two major big times to go to visit Kyoto for sakura and then for maple
koyo
leaves. But they're both really busy times. So I'd recommend going off season to just see and appreciate Kyoto. But going there during like hanami was just a bit too much. But you can see in both of those times, they open up the Imperial Palace, and you can't go to the Imperial Palace outside of those seasons. So it's hard to say like, because the Imperial Palace has its own kind of tour you can go around. It's not the main Imperial Palace like in Tokyo, but it's the historic one in Kyoto. That you're able to go on those grounds as a tourist only during those seasons or certain periods, and so you can see the sakura there, and that is worth it just to like have access to that historic site. So I'd recommend that.
That's
as
good.
Like
that's actually really that's actually really good information. And like Matt said, why like Kyoto is obviously it's popular for foreigner people, for the tourists, because everybody want to see the Kyoto. That's the oldest city for Japan. But also because it's old city, the street it's very narrow, very tight. So when I think everybody knows, when we go to Kiyomizu-dera, that's the most popular temple. On the way go, there's a buses, cabs on a very narrow street with the people who work there. So it's when the peak season, imagine plus the school trip coming from everywhere in Japan, because that's also one thing that we always do. Every single school goes to Kyoto at some point to learn our culture. So there's a foreigner, tourists, there's already a lot of people, and then on top of that, there's a bunch of school kids.
Yeah, that I have to say, when we were there, it was like, okay, Japanese schools, and then there's a bunch of like Korean school
makes sense
on school trips. And then of course the foreigners and then locals, and it was just like just to walk up that street that leads you up to the main gate for Kiyomizu-dera. It's just like it's really cool because you could go see. It's like I think the same street you have to take to get to Fushimi Inari too.
No
branches or
no, Fushimi Inari is little bit far from Kiyomizu.
Oh, it's a little bit further down. I'm mixing
it.
Both those areas.
Both those
areas, like, packed with people, and it's definitely all shops along the way, and so there's like a lot of people. Oh, Kiyomizu-dera has like the steps, right? There's that. You see the pagoda in the distance.
Exactly, and then they like if you go on top of the Kiyomizu-dera and then you see the stage and then you see all like the sakura season. There's a sakura. Kiyomizu-dera surrounded by sakura fruit blossom. Like you said, the fall time, bunch of colored momiji. The maple, Japanese maple will turn like yellow, orange, red. So beautiful. That surrounded. So
it's beautiful. It's worth it to see it. But be aware.
If you don't like overwhelmed, crowds, like too many people, then definitely you should schedule them, check them how it's the busiest, or like you can also trying to find maybe that local sakura place that not so many people there, but they still do like sakura matsuri, and I think you enjoy like local one. Actually, you enjoy more because like it's all local people, and then for sure these days they're always welcome to anybody. They will be so happy to having you guys, as long as you guys are following what they want.
Don't be rude.
Which is
pick up your garbage after.
Exactly.
Don't leave it on the ground. Or like big massive garbage bins and
so
yoyogi and stuff.
Just throw away into the garbage, right?
But there's I was just wanted to touch on my strategy for next time. I want to kind of go during Hanami, but I think I want to go either early, see stuff in Fukuoka, or like Kyushu in the south, or go a bit later and go up north and see like Sapporo or like I heard that like Hirosaki is like a really awesome. Is it Hinosaki or Hirosaki? It's like
I don't know,
the castle with the like all the petals fall on the moat, and so the moat is just pink from all the like sakura petals. Cool. But like there's places like that I think most tourists don't go to. Because tourists always go to Kyoto and Tokyo, but you'll have all the local tourists, but it's just a little bit more manageable because you have like less people in those like areas off, especially outside of the main season in early April. So that's like my recommendation.
I think that's it. And also there's a bunch of sakura flavor food coming out on the season, but we might gonna talk about this might gonna visit Toronto soon, and then that time it might be a perfect time for Toronto sakura season. So we will keep that for that time. But I think you guys get a lot of great information about Hanami from Matt.
Yeah.
So
hopefully there's some helpful, useful things in there for when you're planning a trip to Japan and you want to see the sakura.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like this episode, please leave us 5-star or leave a comment on Instagram and TikTok. Yep. So
thanks for listening, guys.
ありがとうございます。またね。バイバイ。